All right. Now, let me start with the installation of Camtasia Studio. So the Camtasia Studio is used to you can use it to record screen. While you are recording the screen, if you want to show your face as well, it is possible. But my background here is not really good. But let me use it like that so you can see. So I don't want to disturb this thing. So let's just continue. Now, to install Camtasia Studio, so you just go to get into PC, get into pc.com. So that's the name of the website. So any software at all that you see on this website that you can download here is free. Originally, the softwares they may not be free. Like if you want to use them, you may need to pay and so on. But if you can download them from this website, you can use them for free. So that's the point of coming to this website to download. Originally supposed to go to their website, their official website, which is going to be, let me search for Camtasia. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, so originally their website should be Camtasia Studio, I think textmate.com. So this is the official website of this video editor. But if you download from here, it is not free. You need to pay. If you don't pay, you can only use the trial period. After the trial it will expire, then you need to pay before you can proceed. But if you download from here, you'll be able to use it for free. So just come to this search bar here, search for the software Camtasia, search for it. So this is the latest version 2022, this 2021 and so on like that. So just download anyone. But one thing that you need to take note is this: when you click on the software like this, so scroll down to the bottom. So here you have two options here. The second one here, which shows the download 64 bits. So this is the actual link for the software. When you click here, it will download. It will direct to another page. You wait and it will come up. The downloading will come up. Then this one, how to install the software. So this one contains a video. So inside this video is how you are going to crack the software. So now the video will show you originally the software that you are going to download. It will come with a when you unzip it. So you will see the software, the setup that you're going to install. Then you're going to see a crack folder. Inside that crack folder, you're going to copy all the files inside the crack folder. So after installing the software on your system, I think you guys should just mute your mic. If you want to talk, you can mute so that you won't have background noise from the other side. So now,
Okay.
so after installing the software on your system, don't forget you've copied the crack. So not the folder itself, but the file inside the folder. So let me show you this one. So I download the software was downloaded here. So when after unzipping, this is the folder. So TechMate Camtasia Studio. This is the setup that you're going to install. Then inside this crack folder, just copy crack again. Copy all these 4 files here. It may be more than this or just one. Just copy everything here. Then now you go to your local disk C. So now what we are trying to do here is to locate where that software actually installed, the folder. Because when you install any software, there will be a folder inside. It's either inside the program files or program x86. The difference between them is, if now this system I'm using is a 64-bit system. So if I install a software of 64-bit system on this laptop now, so the software will be automatically, it will be inside the program files. But if I install a 32-bit system, it will be here. It's a 32-bit software, it will be here. So if you are using 64-bit software system, just go straight to the program files, then look for TextMate. This is the folder, TextMate Camtasia 2022. Then inside here, just paste. So when you paste, it will ask if you want to replace. Click yes and replace. So after that, close it and open your software. So the thing is, after installation, you don't need to open it before you do this routine. But if maybe by mistake you open it, just close it, do this routine and reopen. And to be on the safer side, you can restart your system, and that will be all on how to install a crack version of Camtasia Studio. And after that version, we have like, oh, it's not showing the period here, like almost like 2 3 years free trial period that you can use the software. Now, I don't know if that is clear enough before we move into our class. So now for today we are going to, like I said the other time, our training will be systematic now, so that as we are progressing, we are building, we are working on a project. So we just start with a navigation bar today. Now, to do our navigation bar, a quick explanation is that,
Wait, I have a question.
okay, what's the question?
What do you mean by systematic? You
Okay,
said our class today is going to be systematic.
okay,
Like, what do you mean
what's
by that?
simply what I mean by that is, as we are, originally we were just talking about the tags, how to use this one, how to use that one, but we are not putting them together if you want to use them in a real project. So we might in fact we can treat all the HTML tags, all this, we can talk about all the CSS attributes and so on, and at the end of the day, you may not really know how to start a project, how to go about it, and so on. So, but if we want to do a navigation menu, so along the line, so every new style that comes into play, or every new tag, we talk about it, and at the end of the day, we are going to achieve a navigation bar, so that today we can say, okay, we did a
Okay.
navigation bar and everything about it, we understand it. So next time if you want to do anything related to navigation bar, you already know how to do it, and you are understanding HTML and CSS along the line. So that's what I meant by being systematic in the class. So moving forward now, our folder structure, we have our CSS here, but since we have our CSS there, now you need to go back to your HTML to adjust the link. We only have href style.css here, so just go back here, introduce the folder which is css forward slash. So I hope this is clear. Okay, let me come again.
Yes.
Okay, since you understand that, so let's move on. Now we have our, I think let's use this file nav.html. So now the first thing is our normal doc type declaration. So just now is doc type HTML. Then we have our HTML tag. Inside here we have our head tag. Then inside the head tag we have title tag.
Title.
Yes, which is, let's say, navigation bar tutorial. Then after the title, we want to link our CSS. So link rel. Why is this thing not suggesting anything? So the relation will be style sheet, then href, we have css forward slash. So I'm going to create another CSS file, so we are not going to be using this normal style today. So I can say nav.css. So let's be dynamic, so that you won't have the impression that, okay, anytime you want to write CSS, you must use style.css to do it. So going into the body now. So now we are here. Let me go and create our CSS file. So I'm right clicking on the CSS folder, new file. Then we have nav.css. That's that. Then coming back to the navigation.html. So to do a navigation bar, so there's a traditional way of doing it, like the normal standard way of doing it. So at first we have an HTML5 tag called nav. So this nav is indicating that okay, everything that goes inside this tag is a navigation, right? And let me show this as an example. Let me use this website so that we know that okay, we are in line. taxengineering.com. So you asked the other time, was it yesterday that okay, am I working as a developer or so? I thought I did that in the first class, maybe I can't remember. But so a little bit about what I do. So I'm a software developer. So I started with desktop application. You know, for our first class, I explained about desktop application, mobile application, web application. So I started with
Yes.
desktop software development using visualbasic.net. Then after that, I started web. So right now, I'm a full stack developer. I develop websites like the front end and the back end, and I also write mobile app as well. So I can build mobile app, desktop app, and websites. So that's what. And currently, I work with a software company here in Lagos. Actually, I'm in the office. So it is after the class that I'm going home. So I work as a
Okay.
full stack developer here for Chronicle Software Development Company. So this particular website I'm showing you here is a website I built for a client, a personal client, not for the company here. Why is it not showing? Okay,
Okay.
everything is showing. So don't worry, along the line I'll be showing you some of the websites I've worked on. So, but this one. So now what I want to explain on this website is this: I declare a nav tag. So everything that goes inside that nav tag, understandably, should be a navigation. So on this website now, if you want to crop out a navigation menu here, so the navigation contains this logo here, one, and this home
Please wait, I
about.
have a question.
What's the question?
What does a navigation mean?
Navigation, like the English,
Yes.
the way it sounds, to navigate, like a path, something that show you the path to somewhere, to navigate.
Okay.
So you see all
Okay.
this normal HTML, in fact programming language itself, it is designed to look like an English language, so that okay, let me put it this way. If you study computer related courses like computer science or computer engineering, so there be courses like intro to internet or intro to computing. So those are the first courses that you're going to be doing. So they will explain what is a programming language to you. Now we have different types of programming language. We have low level, we have high level, and we have machine language. Those are the three main categories that we have programming language. Now, machine language is like the computer itself here. The language that the computer understand is zeros and one. I don't want to go deep so that we'll be able to cover what we want to do today. So, computer only understand the zeros.
Cat and can.
What did you say?
I said that's cat and can. Binary.
Yes, binary. Yes, okay. Yes, so computer only understand binary, which is zeros and one, base 2, anything base 2. So that's what computer understand. And everything we are doing, if we want, what we are doing right now is we are instructing the computer to do something, to perform an operation for us. So there's something underneath that is translating our own code into the language that the computer understand. What we are actually writing here, computer doesn't understand it. So we are writing it into a, let me say, we have compiler, we have translator, we have assembler. Now we are writing it into a software. The software translates it into machine language. It is that machine language that the computer now interprets and perform the operation. So now your question now is that the navigation. So when we declare the nav tag, it is made for us to understand that okay, this sounds like the nav. Okay, there's another HTML tag called header. So header tag. So you know that okay, anywhere you see header, apart from the head, oh, we already have HTML head and body. So HTML5 tag that goes inside the body tag that is called header, and there's another one called footer, there's another one called aside, and so on like that. So they are like simple English. So just take the meaning as it is coming. So now let us go too far from the class. So let's enjoy the web.
Okay.
Don't worry when you get to computer class. But by then you'll be having a deeper meaning, like when you practice something and they are explaining it to you. So you have a like, okay, I have understanding of this is how it works and so on. So now inside the navigation bar, inside the nav tag, so to do a navigation, so no, originally we should use a list. So I'm declaring an unordered list. So inside this list we have our li. So inside the li we have anchor tag. I think you asked a question that okay, what's an anchor tag, that you don't understand an anchor tag and div tag, abi?
Yes.
So
Span tag or something like that.
okay, so they are just tags. So it's not that they are performing. One thing about HTML is, so you see all these tags, apart from the, let's say, the heading, the list tag, the table, that they have a particular role that they are performing. You see something like div tag, span tag, so they are just like name. It's not that they have one particular functionality that they are doing. So it depending on your website structure and how you use them and how you style them, that determine what they are going to be showing to you. So those tags. Don't worry, we surely get there. In fact, normally I think we still need to treat some HTML5 tags and so on, like all these other tags I've been mentioning this morning. So now inside our URL we have our li. Inside the li we have anchor tag. A tag, which is for the link, it is the anchor tag. So that's the name. Before I was saying a tag. It was when you mentioned that okay, you don't understand anchor tag, and I remember that okay, I didn't actually give you the name. So I was just saying a tag. So inside the a tag, don't forget we have our href, right? So inside the href, I'm putting hash. So the meaning of the hash here is this. Inside your href, you're supposed to put the file, the link to the file you want to navigate to. It's supposed to be inside the href. But when you put hash there, so when you click on that link, it will refresh the page you have. So it's like the same page, just to refresh the same page. So here I'm putting home. So if you don't understand, please call my attention.
I have a question.
Okay, what's the question?
That hash, does it perform the same function as, for example, if maybe when you are done with the link, you are going to write target, and inside that target you are going to write self. Is it still the same thing as the hash? Like, does it perform the same function?
Yes, I think that's the same. At the end of the day, we are going to get the same results. If you use target and you put self there, that means to just reload the page, something like that. So we are going to get the same results. So now I have home. Let me say about us, our gallery, and contact us. Okay.
Sorry, is gallery different from dashboard?
Yes, gallery is different from dashboard.
Because from what I noticed whenever I wanted to visit a website,
Okay.
I mean a dynamic website.
Website whereby you
You
log
know,
in.
yes, you log in. There
Okay.
is always a welcome page.
Yes.
And after the welcome page, you sign up. After signing up, your landing page is usually
Dashboard.
the dashboard. Yeah, the dashboard where you have the information for whatsoever you wanted to do,
Yes.
and from there you will start making your attempts on your on whatsoever you wanted to do.
Okay. Yes.
So the welcome page is it different? The welcome page is different from the landing page to the dashboard,
Okay. Let
or
me.
are they the same thing?
They are not the same thing. Let me give you an example like this. So I want to use this as an explanation so that you understand. So we have static websites, we have dynamic websites. So
Yeah.
what they mean by static website is that, actually, I hope you are paying attention. And also put your
Yes.
mic on mute. Just mute your mic so that we won't be getting the echo. So
Okay.
what they mean by static website is that there's no there's no data collection at first. There's no data submission. You are not interacting with the back end. So let me put it that way for a static website. But a dynamic website, that means there's a back end, there's a database somewhere whereby you can submit your credentials, you can log in, and based on your login and your interaction with the website previously will determine some of the content that you are going to be seeing on the website. So everything is not predetermined. Like, it's predetermined, but everything is not static. So you know there are some dynamic content that comes in when you log in that a person that doesn't register and log in will not see. So that's the difference between static and dynamic websites. Now, is a website like this now, this website here is a dynamic website. But what differentiates it from a static website is that from this home page here, I don't know why it's not loading correctly. I'm coming. At this home page here, I'm loading some data from the database. Number one, I hope this. This guy not loading. I want to show you something now. My Windows will mom lára mọ́ ọ. I'm coming. Okay, let me go to contact us. Let's see if this one will work. Okay. Okay. Now, you see this, your name, this contact us form here. So this is one of the things that makes a website dynamic. So when I fill this form now and I submit, it will actually send data to the backend. It will save it to the database and also send email address to the website admin. So those are the features that makes website a dynamic website. Assuming this home page opens now, there are some things there I want to show you that it's actually coming from the database. It's not something that is plainly on the website. It's not there plainly. So the data there are coming from the database. So now, based on your own question now, okay, yes, you see all this picture you are seeing here, all this picture here, they are coming from the database. But as you are seeing it from the browser, you may not know that it's coming from the database. So when they tell you that okay, this website is dynamic, you may be arguing that it's not dynamic, it's a static website because everything here look like normal static website. But by the time they go to the back end and they insert another picture, you know that okay, oh, this picture you are seeing here become the second picture and the latest one come first. So that's when you know that, okay, this is a dynamic website. Now, you know, the content is like a website whereby the content can change dynamically without tampering with the code again. So you can take that definition as to differentiate between static and dynamic websites. Now when you now register. Let me show you. There's a registration here as well. When you register on a website and you log in, this is the login page, and this is the registration page. Let it load. Okay, this is the registration page. So when you register like this and you go back to the login, you log into the website. The reason why there's a dashboard is that at that moment you are no more in the main website. We do have main website whereby we just showcase what the business is all about. These are our business, about us, contact us, some of the images, some of the work we've done. But you are registering now, you log in. That means you need a personalized services from us. Maybe you want to okay, maybe you want to you register, you subscribe to a course, you want to listen to a course online and so on. So those services are for you alone and for other people that register too. Maybe you need to pay before you have access to that. Now this is why we now have dashboard, is to make sure that okay, the summary of everything we have inside that portal, you can see it on the first page that you come to. The summary of everything we have in the portal, unlike the home page here, the welcome page, like you said, unlike the welcome page whereby everything you are seeing here is just about our own business, not about you. It's about us, what we do, what the website does, and so on. But by the time you log in, it will be personalized to you, everything that I want you to see based on your own what input. So that's for the dashboard, and dashboard only always contains the summary. Every other page is when you are now navigating, it will now be what, okay, maybe okay, go to course, subscribe to course, make payment history, and so on. So that's the, and for the gallery is like the same, it's almost the same thing like the portfolio, whereby we showcase our picture like normal gallery now, picture gallery, videos. So where you showcase our pictures, our videos, and so on. So that's for our gallery. I don't know if that answer your question, but I think that should be okay. Now, before that question came up, the question what I wanted to explain is navigation. So I think I've done that. So everything here, the logo here, this is the navigation. Come to the registration number, the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so on. So now going back to our code, in order not to waste much time, we have home, about us, gallery, and so on. So let me open it with a browser. Let's see what we have. Yeah. Abi. Open with live server. Okay, so this is what we have currently. Now as you can see, we have our list, another list. This is how it will show abi originally, and we have, because we have the anchor tag inside the list, that's why you are seeing all this paparazzi, the underlining, the blue color, and so on. So because we have our anchor tag there, so now that means we have everything we need for the HTML. Now the next thing is to style it, to how to make it look like a real navigation bar. So as you can see now, the HTML is like the structure. So without the CSS or JavaScript, your website will just be there like normal structure. There won't be styling and everything. So now we need to style this guy now to make it look like a navigation bar. Going back to our CSS file. So the first thing I'll be doing is to reset the page. What I mean by resetting the page, if you have a question, you can unmute yourself and ask the question. So if I want to set the margin and the padding to 0, so that we have the entire page. So there won't be an automatic padding. Padding should be 0. So okay, now let me show you the difference between when I set the padding and the margin. So I'm cutting now. Come on, sorry, I'm having some issues with the button I'm pressing. So the Mac keyboard and the normal window keyboard is different. So on Mac, control is window button. On Windows, the control is different from the command button. So I'm now mixing it together. Now before I set the margin and padding, you can see that our another list, our list is not at the extreme end. It's somehow it moved to the center, so there's a little margin from the left here. So by the time I set it, see, I want you to see, I want you to notice this these changes here. So let me do it like this. Okay, so now by the time I set the margin and the padding, so you can see that that guy moved to the moved to the extreme end. So that's the essence of setting the margin and the padding. So another thing that we want to style, the body. So sorry, are you there? I hope I'm not talking to myself.
Can you extend your home page? Like I extend it towards the left. We can't see the whole page.
I'm coming. Okay.
Yes.
Can you see it like this?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to style the body, and I've already showed you how to select your content. We have like selector body, normal tag selector, selecting with ID, selecting with class, and so on. So this is normal tag selector, selecting body. So here, let me just give it background color. Background color, let's say something like gray. Is that gray? Okay, yes. Now after the body, I want to style my UL. After the UL, I want to style the LI, and the LI is inside the UL. So this is another system of, if you want to, our selector, since we have LI inside the UL tag, so you can start with the UL to be specific, so that maybe now the reason why you need to be doing this, if you select ordinary UL here, your styling will work, it will take effect. But by the time you have a lot of code inside your HTML, you have a lot of maybe you have more than 10 a tag, 10 list somewhere else, you have div, you have span, and so on. So you need to be like, okay, navigate step by step, so that your code, when you are styling A, the style you are using for A will not be affecting B. So that's why you follow this normal standard, that okay, we have our UL, inside the UL we have LI, so we want to style the LI now, that's inside the UL. So that's another means of selecting the LI. Now we want to style our A tag, which is inside the inside LI. Now this is the anchor tag that we want to style. So now, first thing first, now the way this thing is displaying, that's not the actual way we want it. So let's go to our LI tag. We want it to be on a straight line that will look like a navigation. So to do that, we can come here to change the property list style. No, not list style. Let's do the display first. Display, let's say inline block. You can do this. So now maybe, I think we've not talked about this. So there are some HTML tags that originally their display is block. So at default, something like heading tags. So H1, H2, H3, H4 up to 6. Their display originally is in block. So when you declare a heading tag an H1 and you put another tag in front of it, so when you open it in the browser, you see that okay, that tag that you put in front of it is actually on another line because the H1 is a block element. It will take the entire width of the website. That's the meaning of block. So when something is in line, it will not take the entire width of the entire width of the website. It will take only the width that is needed. But when something is inline block, so like what we have here now, we have a list. So we want to make sure that the list is on a straight line, but at the end of the day, each list is still what? It's still like an individual content on its own. So we want the list to be inline at the same time. Each of the list to be what? A block element. So you see the difference as we move on. Now here I want to style my a tag. I want to remove the underline, so there's no need for that underline there. So let's say text decoration. To remove underline your anchor tag, just do your text decoration. You can actually change it from normal straight line to dotted, dash, and so double also, but I want to remove it entirely. So none. So it removes it. Then so there's another thing here. It may be tiny, but I don't know. Can you see my cursor? Hello.
Yes.
Okay, so when I move my cursor on this, you know that this home, about us, our gallery, and contact us and contact. So they are different links. So home is a link, about us is a link, our gallery is a link, contact is a link. Now when my cursor is on the home, it's showing a click arrow, but by the time it moved past the home a little, the cursor change. So I don't want that gap to be there. Although at the end of the day, we're still going to have gap, but for now, I don't want a situation whereby you're on the navigation bar and your cursor is having something like this. Is a select. This type of cursor here is like a select type cursor, unlike the normal hand tool. So I want to remove that space there. So to do that, you can just, okay, I think that should be inside the, yes, that's the li. So you can make the float so that all our li to float towards the left, so that there won't be a space. How do I put this? So that now I've not explained the floating stuff to Ashraf, although Bashir, maybe you understand the floating stuff. Now, when we have a
Not really. I like to know more about it.
okay, so when we have a tag, you know what we are doing with CSS is we are changing the attribute of the tag. So there are default attribute that comes with it. So we are changing the attributes, the way the tag looks like, the place where it is, the situation where it is, maybe the color, and so many other things that we are changing. Now, the floating means the position of that tag at that particular time. So we want to change the position. Maybe when we say something to float, like when something is floating on the water, so you are floating somewhere, but we want that you're floating, we want to show you the direction whereby you should float to.
Okay.
Yes. So now when I say float now, so it's either you go to the right, or you be at the left, or you be in the center. So or we can give you a size, like okay, maybe 10 pixel to so direction. So but right now you just give it to left, float to left, let everything float to the left. So there won't be a space in between them. So you can see that the space now has been cancelled. So we have this. Now color. I want to color the text. Should I color this li or the tag? Let me color the li. So I want to change it from the blue color something dark. So let's say one E, something like that. See myself. Okay, the color is not taking effect, so let me move it to the A tag. Although the A tag is the last tag there, so originally the color should go to it. Okay, so we have our color change now. So this is the color. Then what else should we do? Our gallery contact. So let's give it. Okay, let's even give this guy a background so that the navigation bar will be different from the entire body. So since I want to style the entire navigation bar now. So that means the entire UL. That's what I want to style. Or perhaps I can still come here inside our HTML. Give this guy this nav. I can give it a class. Let's say navigation. So when I come to the CSS here, I can have the class. I can call the class navigation. So this class now, give it a background color. Let me say white. I don't want to type that white like that. So I hope you understand color code like this, Ashraf. So okay.
I have a question.
What's the question?
Why is there a full stop or something like that in front of the navigation?
Oh, are you asking that question?
Yes.
Why are you asking that question? Because we've treated that already, so I expected that shouldn't be a question by now. That's what I'm asking. Do you think why we have a full stop here?
Yes.
Okay. I think our first CSS class, so we talk about selector. So now what I did here, if you want to, this is a selector, I'm selecting body. So if you want to call this one now a name, what type of name are you going to give it in terms of selector? You know, we have different ways of selecting your content to style them. So what category will you put this one? This one that have dots, and these other ones too. What category are you going to give them? Even the one we are doing here, this ULI, is because I didn't talk about them before. That's why I'm not mentioning name. This is like a parent. The UL here is a parent. This is a child selector. We are like, we want to style the child inside the parent, and this is like a guarantee.
Sorry, I don't understand the question that Ashraf just asked.
Okay, he said, why do we have a full stop before the navigation here? You know, for the body we don't have, but now I now move to the navigation and I put full stop here. Why do we have it?
I know that the aesthetic is maybe when you want to select all, but I don't know the usefulness of that full stop or something.
Okay, I think this. Don't worry, we are recording the class already. So when you ask a question like this next time, I just refer you to the class whereby we've treated it. So now the reason why you have that. So under selector, we have tag selector, we have class selector, we have ID selector. So those are the three main selector, like the first level selector. So you can select by selecting the tag itself, like what I did here for the body. You know, we have a tag here, we have an HTML tag here called body. So I call the tag directly. I want to style the body. So here now I'm having a class. This is a class. So I want to style because I want to style everything inside the navigation bar. So I want to style everything inside the navigation bar. So I come here, I declare a class so that I can call the class inside the CSS. And to call a class inside the CSS, you need dots, then followed by the class name. There's also an ID. If I come here now, I declare.
Yeah, maybe you should just explain for the class and ID.
So
Dot for the class and add for the ID.
yes, so that's what I'm going to do. So inside the body now, I declare an ID. Let's say body. So we have ID body now, and there's something you need to note. If you want to use, normally you can use class anywhere. You can use ID anywhere as well, but when you want to use your ID, make sure you are using the ID for a wrapper tag. So that's what we normally use ID to do. Then the class, when you declare tag in any of the tag, you can use class. So now, instead of selecting the body, here now, if I change this one to class now, I put dots. You can see that the background of our page has changed from gray to what? To white, because white is the default. If I remove this entirely, so we have white as our what? As our default background. Ashraf, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So I think we might need to wrap up the first session of the class because of Solar to Maghrib. Then after Solar, then we come back to complete this thing. So maybe by 6:50 we are going to stop the first class. Then by 7:30 we come back and complete the class for today. Is that okay?
Okay.
So now,
Yes.
now you can see that our background is what? Pure white. Now I want to return this. The body is still pure white because there's no class called body class. If you come here, what I declare is what? An ID. So if I now come here now and do a proper thing here by selecting the body as a what? As an ID that I declared, you can see the background has returned to gray. You can see it change, Abi.
Yes.
Okay, so now to select an element, you want to style your HTML, you need to select those elements, maybe body, all the tag that you want to style, you need to select them. Whether you use ID or you use class. So let's use those two for now. And the other one is normal tag selector. So normal tag selector is when you call the tag name by itself. So you don't need a class or an ID for that. So if you want to declare a class, to call the class in the CSS you need dots. If you want to declare an ID, to call the ID in the CSS you need what? Hash before the body name and the ID name and the class name. After the dots, followed by the class name. So don't worry. In fact, you need to worry about this because I think that was our second class third class whereby we treated CSS. We treated CSS and we talk about the selector and so on. So you can go back to those files, the last week file that we did. So check the one we treated where we treated the CSS. So just check it, you see the class and everything there. So you need to revise, like go back to your files and read. And also, although we are recording now, it may not be necessary, but you can still be jotting when we mention something new. You can just write it down, then before the class go through it again, read it, and be able to flow. So you actually need to know all these things offhand because by the time as time goes on, as we are typing, what we are doing now, we are still on the navigation bar, and in fact we've not done anything on the navigation really. So by the time we want to speed up, we won't be explaining everything again. We just be typing the code and be expecting you should understand them because we've done them like 2-3 times. So you just have to, as you are doing them, just make sure you're understanding them and you don't forget. So
Okay, I want to go and play now.
okay, so we are going to stop the class here, then by 7:30 we come back. So all right.
Okay.